Okay, now we will learn about question tags. You know, question tag is an essential part of speaking language. So many fluent speakers in English use the question tags very generally while they are speaking. So what is this question tag? For example, he is my friend. See, this is a statement. He is my friend. We make a question tag. Is it he? He is my friend. Isn't he? That means what's the use of this shortest expression? The use behind this to make an emphasis. You want to make confirm the statement, so you have to use a question. He is my friend. Is it he? So while you are using the question tag, that emphasizes or that elevates the statement. So it is one of the important tasks about writing English and speaking English. So just we'll go through the exercise. How has this made? See, this is a helping verb. We have to start a question tag with the helping verb is. You know, the whole statement is an affirmative. Just before we discussed what is an affirmative, a positive sentence. So the statement is positive. It's a positive statement. So the statement is a positive statement. Automatically, you need to use a negative in the question. So if the statement is positive, the question tag will be with negative. See, is it he? So he is my friend. Is it he? So I suggest the students, those who are either you are younger or elder, whoever it is, whenever you use a question tag, you please make a question as loud as possible. Is it he? That intonation is needed. Please don't ignore. Of course, while writing, we can't make sound. We can post like this. Due to that reason, some students generally forgets to make the question. So I suggest whenever you speak a question tag, generally make an intonation while speaking the question sense. There must be a difference between while speaking the statements and the question tag. So this is a statement. How to spell this? How to speak? He is my friend. Is it he? The difference must be shown very clearly when speaking. Of course, it is obvious while writing, we can write question mark here. And we shall see more examples. Simply, she is my mother. So the question tag is it she? pet dog. Is it? Isn't it? So just you have a look at here. We use a pronoun he is my friend so that at the end of the question tag we use the same pronoun. She is my mother. Isn't she? We use the same pronoun. It is our pet dog. Isn't it? We use the same pronoun. What happens if we use a noun like this? Ram was a student. Ram was a student. Guess what it is? Just you have a point here. We use pronouns he, she, it, and we use a noun here in the sentence. Ram was a student. So obviously you take the auxiliary verb in order to make the question tag. Was it? Was it he? Understand? You need not to use the same noun here. You have to use its pronoun. Ram is a masculine gender noun, so he can be used for that noun he. If you take Sita, you need to write here, he wasn't she. So try to understand the small rules behind a question tag exercise. If the statement is positive, its question tag will be its negative. That is primary rule. If the statement is positive, its question tag will be negative. And if the statement has a pronoun, the end of the question tag, the subject will be the same. That means no need to change a pronoun. For example, here we use he. There you can take the same, no problem. But whenever a statement has a noun like this, you need to use its pronoun instead of the noun. So whenever there are some acts of sentences are available. So Ram was a student, was in he. You better use it. So this is a primary information to all categories of students from 6th onwards. 6th to it is uh, it has no boundaries. For example, even an employee needs it. A person who goes to an interview needs it. A person who appears for a competitive exam is also important for him. So this is an important exercise for all categories of English learners. So very simple exercise and it is applicable exercise. An exercise meant for English language not only to take the notes into a book and just refer it very before the exams. While learning a topic from English, either from grammar or from somewhere, we need to practice it in order to make conversation. That's all. So, yes, we follow a small rule by taking a sentence question tag. He is my friend, is it he? She is my mother, isn't she? It is our pet dog, isn't it? So, this is primary information about question tags. And this is a rule. And we will see another rule. It's okay. We knew how to take the question tag. That's fine. Sometimes you see statements are not all the time like this. He watches movies He watches movies. Let's have a look at it. Here we don't have an auxiliary verb. Generally, we have auxiliary verbs for how many tenses? In English language, 12 tenses are very popular. There are 12 tenses. If you go through the tense table, naturally you can find there are merely two tenses doesn't have any auxiliary structure while making a sentence. They are simple present and simple past. So this is a statement. He watches movies. How can we take a question tag for that? So I think today I might have told you. Um, just you understand, watch. You have to imagine this. Do plus watch. Do plus watch is equal to watches. Do plus does plus watch meant for watches. You know, watched. Did plus watch. Got it? You have to understand each and every word's deep form. While in order to take a question tag about this type of sentences, because these sentences, don't have any auxiliary verb here. Just before we did some exercise, there we can use the auxiliary is given in the statement. But here we don't have any auxiliary verb, so that we need to use D form to make a question tag. Just you look at it. He watches movies. What is the question tag of it? Doesn't he? How has the does been extracted? You have to imagine what is meant for does plus watch, does plus V1, does plus watch. So, as a main verb, we call it as watches. And watch, it has do. So, just we have a look at it. I watch movies. Just have a look at the main verb, watch. What will be its question tag? Don't I? Don't I? Got it? Similarly, she brings flowers. She brings flowers. Doesn't she? She brings flowers, doesn't she? Just have a look at here. Brings. Brings meant for does plus bring, maybe equal to brings. You have to use does here in order to make your question. And they play chess. So play main verb. Don't. They. The subject too important while making a question. So it's a plural, it is singular, and it is singular. These two are singular subjects, whereas these two known as plural subjects. Of course, whenever we discuss the tenses, there we get more idea. Oh, right now, just in order to make the question tag, he watches movies, you better ask a question tag like this. Doesn't he? I watch movies, don't I? So whenever we consume this information in our day-to-day life, automatically the question tags will be useful for our regular speaking. And what is the rule? The same rule just before. If statement is positive, its question tag itself is negative. So this is a category of discussion. And we shall see another rule of the question tag exercise. So far, what have we seen? The statement is positive, its question tag will be its negative. Okay. For example, if the statement is negative, if the statement is negative, how to make question tag for this? If the statement is negative, you need to use a positive question tag. Just before, what was our rule? If the statement is positive, the question tag was negative. Now, the statement itself is a negative. He said, my friend, is he? The same expression. So the purpose of using a question tag is to make a stress or to emphasize the statement of the speaker. Got it? He is it my friend. Is he? Is it my friend? Is he? That means what are you want it to come with that? Is it my friend? Is he? And she is not a teacher. Is she? She isn't a teacher, is she? So, if the statement is negative, the question tag will be it's positive. So, groups are very. The entire question tags exercise, even in advanced mode, question tags exercise have simply two, just two rules. They are, if rule 1, if the statement is positive, if the statement is positive, its question tag will be its negative. It's rule number 1. And rule 2, if the statement is negative, automatically its question tag will be its positive. Okay. So the entire exercise of question tags depends on these two rules. If the statement is positive, the question tag is negative. If the statement is negative, the question tag is positive. So as we discussed, the purpose behind learning a question tag, of course, it may give you some more marks during an exam, but in fact, it is itself an important exercise for all the speakers of English. You are a native speaker or a non-native speaker, it doesn't matter. But whenever you use question tags about your statements, you will be considered as an advanced speaker in English. At the same time, about literary concepts like writing a passage or writing a review or something or writing a question tag during an exam. If you use question tags appropriately, your write-up will be appreciated very, very uh, closely and attentively towards the reader. At the same time, you will be appreciated. So, this is half part of the exercise has been discussed right now. So, he is into my friend is a negative statement. The question tag is the positive expression. In our next class, we shall see some advanced categories of statements and how do they get their question tags in the next coming session. I would like to tell you some more advanced statements will be taken and it will be explained how do they get the question tags in an advanced category. Anyways, thank you for listening to me. Have a nice time. Good day.